You may have heard of the 5 C's of credit: character, capacity, capital, collateral, and condition. These are guidelines that lenders sometimes use to assess a borrower's creditworthiness and to make the lending decision. Today I'm going to introduce you to another set of 5 C's, guidelines to help credit analysts produce effective credit proposals. The 5 C's of effective credit proposals are clarity, conciseness, consistency, completeness, and most importantly, having a cash flow focus. By focusing on these guidelines, a credit analyst can produce a document that presents a business and financial risk analysis that is supported by facts, focuses on the key risks and mitigants, describes the key transaction risks and how they are mitigated by the transaction structure, or if not mitigated, why such risks are considered acceptable, and only includes information that is relevant for the decision maker to reach an informed decision. Now that we have a good idea of what comprises an effective credit proposal, let's look at each of these 5 C's in turn, starting with clarity. The Economist Style Guide states that clarity of writing follows clarity of thought. So think what you want to say, then say it as simply as possible. This implies that before the writer can compose a document that is structured, easy to read and to understand, they need to be sure of exactly what they want to communicate to the reader. In the case of a credit proposal, the analyst is hoping to communicate to the decision maker all the relevant information they need to make a commercial decision. This information needs to be presented in a structured, logical, clear manner. The best way to achieve such is for the credit analyst to complete the analysis fully and have a clear idea of their proposal and recommendation before they start writing the credit paper. Remember the maxim, know what you want to say, then say it. Next is conciseness. Here, less is more. The credit approver often does not have much time to review the credit proposal, so it is important to get to the point as quickly as possible. Ensure that the purpose of the request is clear, follow a logical approach to your analysis, and focus on producing a concise, analytical presentation of the key risks and mitigants. Achieving an appropriate level of brevity is challenging for the most practiced author. Blaise Pascal is rumoured to have apologised for writing a long letter as he did not have the time to make it short. The key to being succinct is to thoroughly edit your work before submission. There are numerous presentation tools available to assist in achieving brevity, and this is also the perfect opportunity to avail of the advancements in technology by using AI to edit your document. Just be sure to verify that the AI-edited version still makes sense. We'll follow on to consistency. Consistency in a credit proposal focuses on 2 key aspects: analysis and presentation. This requires the writer to ensure that the analysis is well structured, free of errors and contradictions. We'll look at the point about presentation a little bit later. Next, completeness. Ideally, the credit approver wants to be able to read the report in its entirety, without interruption, and ideally without raising more questions than answers have been provided. They cannot do so if the report is incomplete. It is therefore imperative to include all the necessary information required to reach a decision by focusing only on relevant and applicable data. This is where the credit analyst applies the necessary or nice to know test. Only information essential to the decision-making process needs to be included. Anything else falls into the nice to know category and can either be included in an appendix to the document or not at all. As you write your credit proposal, put yourself in the reader's shoes. This way you can easily anticipate the questions that are likely to arise in the reader's mind as they review the document, and you can address them in the credit report. This entails focusing on both the good and the bad. Don't avoid discussing the risks in the business or the transaction for fear the proposal won't be approved, as they will be evident despite attempts to disguise them and will negatively impact your credibility in the process. Finally, my favorite, a cash flow focus. It's future cash flows that repay today's debt, whether from operating activities, refinancing sources, or even third-party support. An effective credit report will therefore always focus on the risks of non-payment and how these risks can be mitigated. Questions to ask and answer include: can the borrower afford the proposed funding? What factors could impact on future cash flows? And are the borrower's cash flows monitored and/or controlled by the lender? Finally, let's discuss presentation. If the document is difficult to read, the reader might miss vital information or misinterpret the ask. There are numerous techniques available to help you present the information in a clear, concise, consistent, and complete manner. Tables are ideal for summarizing financial data, pie charts for presenting segmental information, bar charts for sharing comparative statistics, or even bullet points for expanding on key points or listing facts. If you're not a confident writer, learn from those who are. One of the best pieces of advice I got when I first started in my banking career was to ask for examples of good quality credit reports. Don't be shy to learn from your colleagues who do things well. Now that you know a bit more about the 5 C's of effective credit proposals, good luck with implementing these tips and techniques. If you want to deepen your understanding of credit risk analysis, you could consider the Global Credit Certificate. Its comprehensive curriculum combines theoretical foundations with practical insights, equipping you with the tools to excel in the competitive world of credit. Visit our website for more information.